Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Seidat webinar. Today's topic we have related to the photo shooting and the importance of photo shooting, especially in the hospitality business. And the main agenda here is going to be today turning hotel photos into stories that will really sell. And a little bit more about the agenda also will be detailed here. So how to use your current photos for generating more profit. Why photos are a hotel's strongest sales tool, pre-production and the shot lists, preparation before the shoot, and photography sessions, and definitely not the last, but the quite important part is also the post-production. All right, I need to share also my presentation, by the way. You cannot see it. Can you see it, man, now?
No.
Is it there?
Yes.
All right. Makes presentation a little bit easier to also share the presentation. Some words about me. So I'm the CEO of Seidat, currently taking responsibility of our commercial actions, supervising and building our sales team and leading it and revenue development management. And also I have a long, over 20 years background in SaaS companies and software services. And how about you, Jiri?
I am a photographer. For the past 15 years, I've been focused or specialized in shooting for hospitality clients. To name the few, I work for the Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis, Kempinski. Now also approved for Hilton. So you name it, you name the hotel, I probably shot it, but to a certain extent.
I believe that I can find some hotel.
Yeah, definitely you can. There's so many brands that I am not approved for. That was just a lame joke.
But I have already heard about your experience, that you are exactly very experienced photo shooter when we're talking about high quality luxury still images.
I like to think so.
Okay.
Sometimes. I mean, there's always time to learn, and it's the fact that I've been talking to some friends of mine, and we've been discussing my job, and it's very strange because I'm doing the same thing over and over, but I'm doing it in different time and different place, which changes, so that although I'm still doing the same thing, I'm taking pictures, it's every time there's something different, some problem that needs to be solved, so with my process, we are always trying to minimize that, but there is some room for error, I would say. There's always something that goes wrong that we need to solve on site. So that's why my job is so perfect, because I get to travel, I get to solve problems, and I get to travel for work and get paid for it. That's like the ultimate.
Yeah.
And I get to experience these hotels because I have to stay there, I have to eat there. There's no time typically. So
I believe that there is at least one aspect that you are not going to control. It's the weather.
That is correct. That I cannot. Yeah.
But having a very precise preparation, taking care of the whole process, that will ensure that the outcome will be a very successful and professional.
Yes, so we will definitely discuss that today. My process, what precautions I'm taking when we are shooting. So I'll hopefully by the end of this this presentation or this webinar, you and all attendees will know, or at least have some idea how to communicate to photographers. I should say one thing, that this is because there is many photographers and not everybody's approach is going to be the same, right? So this is what works for me, what worked for me in the past. So don't take it as a set in stone. This is just something that works for me, especially, and hopefully you can get some little bits and pieces from what I got to share and use it for your own photo productions in the future.
Also, if I have a wrong slide, please tell me, Jiri. So
I'll let you know. Yeah, sure.
I will try to keep on track with you.
So
I believe the next part of and the starting part of our webinar today will be choosing the right photographer for your needs.
Yes, exactly. So I would start with this is the most important part, because it determines They should all start with the fact what you and your hotel needs. Typically, when we are talking about hospitality photography, there's two main differentiators of that, and that is like lifestyle photography and architectural photography. And these two are quite different. Although we are shooting people in places, the setup and everything that comes along with it changes based on what we are shooting. If we are shooting people, the approach is different. It's more in my eyes, it's more complicated, because although I'm shooting lifestyle as well, what I'm known and most hired for is architectural photography, which means we are shooting something that is not moving. It's essentially the architecture of the hotel, just to make it ultra clear. However, you can find many architectural photographers or real estate photographers, because that's, again, different parts of photography. It's the same like if you are going to hire a auto mechanic to fix your car. It doesn't, although you have a car, doesn't mean that the mechanic understands the brand of your car, right? So he's probably specialized for the car that you have. It's similar. Not the same, but just to give you an idea. For example, architectural photographer, purely architectural photographer, will focus on the architecture, and he will have either the architect or the interior designer in mind, but not you, not the marketing manager, not the sales manager. That may or may not impact the final result. So there may be some clashes in, like, maybe, hey, we wanted, we wanted to showcase these two windows, but then the photographer wanted to focus on a piece of architecture or piece of a design that would, that he thought would be nice, because he's so used to shooting for the architectural clients and not hospitality. So when we are talking strictly about hotels, and this is nothing against like architectural photographers, because I was one myself before I actually started shooting for hotels. It's just that there are subtle differences that you should take care and you should think about before actually reaching to photographer. And the first thing I would recommend is to have a look at the photographer's portfolio and look if you see that he's been shooting for hotels. Then he probably knows what the USPs are of the hotels, meaning unique selling points, and he knows how to do that. If you want to take a bet and use an architectural photographer, of course, you do you. I would just be cautious and watching over the photographer's shoulder and letting him know what is important to you, what you need to be communicated.
Could you give us a couple examples of those competitive factors that you are trying to find out and present?
Look at the portfolio. So if you have a photographer in mind, look at his portfolio. And if you see hotel imagery, what you like, he's probably your guy. Just reach out. But if you see only flats that he's been shooting for real estate agents, or he's been just shooting Airbnbs or something, then maybe he doesn't have that much experience to actually shoot for a hotel or manage cross departments, if that makes sense.
Got it.
It's all about the portfolio, right? So if he's just shooting people, then probably architecture is not his thing. That's like the worst case scenario, hiring somebody that's only started on shooting people. It doesn't mean that he won't do a good job. It's just that you are spending money and there is a potential risk. So it depends, right? Pay low, pay twice. That's what I say.
You're kind of saying that you should relate to the experience.
Yes, definitely.
Do we move on?
Oh, good. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
We have slot lists.
So whenever somebody reaches out to me, the email typically looks, hey, Jiri, I am from X and Y hotel, and we have this shoot coming along. Would you like to participate? And what is your price? And do you have time, for example, first week of October? That's the typical email I'm getting. It's missing a lot of stuff. First of all, it doesn't tell me anything to determine the amount of time we will need to take for the photo shoots. What does it mean? If I get the better email would be, hey, we have these spaces that we need shot, and how much would it cost and how long would it take you? On the right side, you can see that's an example shot list that I am typically sending to clients when they reach out without anything. And I'll just ask them, hey, great, thank you so much for reaching out. However, there is not enough information for me to provide you with a quote that will actually like give you some information, because if we are shooting meetings or if we are just shooting rooms, that's two different things, and that's two different time slots. What I mean by that, meeting room may take us, if it's a small meeting room, that can take us 30 minutes. If it's a ballroom, that may very well take us 4-5 hours to do. So you can see that, if I don't have this information before we actually, like, if I arrive at the hotel and I learn that, we have a problem, because I'm usually traveling there. I'm based in the Czech Republic now, but my work is 95% abroad, international EMEA. So we're talking like Europe, Middle East, Africa, and now also APAC, meaning Asia Pacific. So if I go there, if I spend 2 days traveling and then I learn we have more shots, or we have changed the scope, that again we will be shooting meeting rooms, which will take us much longer, then we have a problem, because we will not be able to shoot that in the time we were given for the photo shoot. So the first thing I'm always telling the clients when they reach out to me is, hey, can you fill out this shot list that we can then take a look, and then I'll can ask additional questions, or I will at least have a number that I can work with. Then I can estimate the amount of days that it will take us, and based on that, I can give you a quote that will tell you more.
I totally understand that preparation is the key to have a successful photo shooting. But yes, I believe also that you are somehow guiding the customer through this process and supporting.
Yes, this goes. That is a great question. There is a whole different topic that we can take, but this is the first when I provide a client with a quote. Before I do that, I need to see a shot list. I need to see the number of shots. I need to see what it is we are shooting, and then potentially if the client asks me, then we can like tone it down, because some rooms don't require like 10 shots like they anticipated it would. Typically it would be like 3 or 4, again based on the space, based on my experience. That is very hard to share right now, right here. But we will talk about that, and then we will, like, at the end, hopefully we will have a better number. We will like flesh out the shot list. We will like improve it, reduce some numbers, maybe add numbers somewhere else. Maybe there was some space they didn't want, or they didn't think they want, but it would be much better. And when they agree to a quote based on the shot list that we did, then we actually like start talking about contracts, about the traveling. The main thing is that everybody, before they are going to ask a photographer for a quote, they should have a shot list in mind. They should know what should be shot. We will talk about that in the other slides, but it's actually to have an idea of what needs to be shot is the main, because the photographer, he's not familiar with your space, right? You've been there, you worked there for quite a long time, so you know it by heart. But the photographer, I don't know. I've never been there. I can take a look at the website, but doesn't say much to me.
But Jiri, we are humans, and I believe that, let's have an example case that I have a hotel, Central Europe, somewhere like, let's have an example, Berlin, and then me and my team has been sent you a kind of preliminary quote for a shooting of our hotel, but things might change. The team might have new ideas that, hey, let's have this kind of setup or this kind of setup for these venues, etc. So how you work with those?
Simple. So, for example, let's say the shot list that we agreed on and the quote has been sent for, let's say, 50 images. That means if we are talking about luxury clients, 5 days of shooting, 10 shots per day. That means that and we will talk about that in later stages of this presentation, we will have a scout day, we will have a recce, reconnaissance. When we see on the reconnaissance on the scout day that maybe this shot is not worth it. Let's add it somewhere else. Hey, this would be nice. Because obviously the hotel team doesn't see the way the same I do, or something is not working. So we can always shuffle around the shot list, but in general, the number of the shots we are taking should be the same or a little more than it was anticipated. Because remember, I have a time slot of 5 days, then I have to depart. So if we can squeeze it, again, that is my case. Some photographers will charge extra for everything. That's their way of doing. I am typically like more lenient to a way, hey, this shot was easy. We can reduce this shot and we can swap it with something else. Or it really depends on the communication. If the communication with the hotel is great, I love the team, I'll do 100-200% to satisfy them. But if the hotel, and there were some hotels like that where the communication was rusty, they didn't react, they didn't respond well, they were slow, then I will not go above and beyond to shoot more, obviously. So again, human to human.
Yeah, trust and kind of in good manners. Also,
so the main thing is have a short list in mind before you start. It can be just a simple Excel sheet like you see here, just the space and then the number. Have that, approach a photographer. It will be much quicker communication with the hotel, with the photographer, and then hopefully you will get a quote much quicker. Yeah, we can go to the next slide.
Is this still the same shot list?
This is not the same shot list. This is actually a full production shot list from a shoot we did in Mauritius 2 years back, and you can see here that actually it's been more refined. It's been properly named, so the hotel knows, and there has been dates already assigned that what we know what we will shoot, and the most important thing is the time. You can see what we are shooting. We are going to be shooting, for example, if you look at the on the upper part, we will be shooting Junior Suite King, and we will be shooting one shot in the bathroom, and we will be shooting one shot view from inside out. So we will be shooting like towards the view. So that tells us that we will be shooting these 2 shots, and we will start shooting those at 9. And what that tells us, that this shot list typically gets finalized after the scout. When I arrive, that shot list gets finalized, and then we can select the departments that we need their help. For example, we are shooting Junior Suite King. That means we need housekeeping, and that we need the Junior Suite King 100-200% ready at 9. Because if we didn't have that and we arrived at the hotel, at the suite at 9 and it wasn't ready, that means we have a problem. We have to wait 20-30 minutes, and it adds up. So this is to help. For example, you can also see the Nomad at 11. Perfect. That means we are shooting a restaurant called Nomad. We will be shooting one architectural shot, and we will be shooting it daylight. And the restaurant is open actually from 12 to 3. That means that's my deadline is 12, because at 12 people will start pouring in. The restaurant is going to be full of people, and that means we cannot shoot. That's a problem. So I know that at 11 we start shooting, at 12 we have to be done. And the list goes on like this. So depending on how many shots, that's why we have to plan everything, because then we won't be running around like crazy chickens around the hotel and trying to find something to shoot, because that doesn't work. That's a nightmare to do.
Next one, we have common mistakes.
Yeah. So again, common mistakes hotels make: no clear priorities or marketing focus. We just have a hotel, we need to shoot it. We need to plan everything, right? What do you want to sell? Are you a metropolitan hotel? So are you more focused, or are you corporate hotel? So are we focused on shooting the meeting rooms, or just, or maybe the culinary, the F&B stuff? The restaurants are great. Or what are you selling? Like, what do you want me to shoot? Do you just want me to go around and shoot everything? Or is there a purpose why I'm there? So everything should like, and that is not for me to decide. I can give advice of what I think looks best, but I need to be given a spine, essentially, like a skeleton to work from.
Which part of process do you usually have at this kind of discussion with the customer? So kind of having these clear incentives that why we are having this photo shoot. So is it in the quarter phase or afterwards, or?
So I'm lucky enough that I've been doing this for a long time, and my reputation is that big clients reach out to me, and big clients typically already know what they want. So I am there just to give them guidance. Maybe if I see it needs one, but 90% of my job is just looking at mistakes in the shot list or something. Maybe numbers doesn't add up, and then maybe trying to find a way, and then problem solving on site. It's been very rare to me that I can't really recall what was the last time I had to do everything from the ground up.
Maybe to wrap up a little bit, how I see it, it's kind of a professional photo shooter for hotels are very skilled optimizing.
Yeah, definitely. This is not about, we are not talking photography right now. This is, although it looks like a photography, the photography is like 30% of what we do. We plan so that everything works well, because remember, the photograph is a result of a work of multiple people on site. It's not as simple as going there and taking the picture. That's what a influencer would do. I'm not an influencer. I'm not being paid, or I'm not staying as a barter there. They are paying me. They are also paying for my accommodation, for my diets, to be there and do the work they will use for 5 to 10 to 15 years, and not to create some subpar image that will live on social media for 5 days.
So exactly, you are also buying this professionalism, this kind of skill sets that you already had, but also consulting.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the huge part, like trying to find the middle ground between like what looks best, the visual aspect, and the production, or the actual how the hotel behaves, and we are trying not to we are not trying to and I'll be blunt here because I can't find the right word, piss off the guests, right? Because they are the ones paying. I'm being paid, so I'm trying to make it the least amount of friction in the hotel, so that the guests are as uninterrupted as possible.
This gives us a fluent chance to move on. So we have some of your examples of your shooting. So could you give us some opening?
Yeah. So this one was in Dubai, and this is their private dining, which means that they will essentially drive you from the hotel to the middle of the desert, where you can have there is a chef that will give you an experience. There needs to be like another imagery, F&B, more type, but this is, and we are talking about architectural shot to showcase that, hey, you are in the middle of the desert for a private dinner.
Any specifics? Did you have any challenges in
well,
here?
Challenges, again, we have to plan. We had to go to this location like 2 days, 3 days before, on the scout day actually, and I had to find a way, find the angle first, which was this one. I took it just with my iPhone, right? I just took the image with my phone, and then I sent it to the team that was actually the event team, also mixed with the F&B team, because there's events and F&B mixed up with this collaboration. And I sent this to them and told them specifically, hey, we will need a fire pit, we will need something to be put, the table you can see with the 2 vases on the right side with the fruits. We will need that, and we will also need a setup for dinner in the where the shelter is. So everything needs to be there on site. So then when I set up the camera, we essentially have a rough idea what should be where, and then we just start moving stuff. And also, based on my experience, we are shooting in the sand, and sand makes footprints. So we also need a leaf blower with us to cover the tracks.
Cover tracks, yeah.
To make it, that comes with experience. So we had to know that before it was in the shot list. We knew what time we need to be there, so we departed 15 minutes prior to get there, because getting to this place was difficult with all the equipment. So it was like 5 cars, 10 people just to get this one shot done.
for eyes of a general person, this
Yep.
thing might sound and feel a little bit simple, but exactly it's a very complicated process.
Yeah.
Next one we have this.
Yeah, so this one, that's London, that's St. Pancras, and this is a fairly simple shot. We don't need anybody for that. The only thing is we need access to the other building we are shooting this from, right? So, and this is actually one of the rare occasions where weather did not cooperate. So this is when we discussed this with Teemu yesterday.
Yeah.
Sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate. This was the case. It was overcast, but I made it look like it was just after sunset because the light quality was such a similar pattern, similar type of like lighting that was on the hotel, that it was easy for me to like, you know, make it look like that while still being true to what might happen. So the only challenge here was like getting to the rooftop or to the suite of it was actually another hotel that we needed to have access to, so I can shoot this shot. Otherwise, this is one of the easiest ones.
That pink one in the upper corner.
Yeah,
looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there, but yeah, obviously. So I have my own library of skies, hundreds of skies that I've taken, that I can, you know, pick and select the one I like for this type of shot.
Yeah, to enhance it a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, here, collaboration between multiple segments or multiple departments from the hotel. We have the event guys who are kindly providing the guy with the camels that we needed to do a couple of runs. We needed to plan when we are going to shoot it. So the spa is actually closed for guests. We were lucky that we didn't get any wind, because you can see on the pool surface that it's almost crystal clear. And the only thing we needed is somebody from the housekeeping to help us with, you know, moving and aligning the sunbeds. Sounds simple. A lot of planning was needed, but yeah. This is actually a lifestyle shot that we did. This one is a whole different ball game. We can talk 2 or 3 hours about like shooting lifestyle with casting, with makeup, you know, actually selecting the right demographic. So for in this case, this is just to showcase, hey, when we are in the hotel, why not change? Why not, you know, link it, or, you know, connect the 2 dots and shoot one like 2 days architectural, 1 day lifestyle. So you have more shots. If there is a budget, why not? Sure, but that's
in kind of my general opinion, because I'm not the professional. These kind of images gives me some feelings.
It's people that it's always like more easier to transcribe feelings when you have like people in the shot rather than just unmovable objects, right? But you know, people, the image, so it's better to have it like this. This is one of the most difficult ones. Lobby with, you know, where there is, I'm not sure if you can also like zoom down a little bit, or if it's cropped, but what you can, it's cropped. So my bad. Yeah. So you can see there is a piano actually, and the most expensive piano you can think of. I don't know how much it cost. Nobody wanted us to move it, but we have many challenges. Perfect. So we need to talk with the florist. We need to talk with the engineering to help us move it. We need to talk with the front office so that we know what is going to be the best time for us to shoot it in terms of people going in and around the hotel. So this one was and some post-production, because some of the planters you can actually see that are currently white needed to be fixed in post. So we changed the color a little bit. And obviously a lot of talk with the florist to make it just right. So again, shot list, planning, executing.
The last one
of the simpler ones. This one is actually the W in Prague we shot, and here again, just getting access to the spot that we need to shoot the hotel from, and waiting for the right time to shoot it. So that is again planning, obviously. So we need the time, and we need somewhere to shoot from. So exteriors typically are like easier, I would say. Again, don't quote me on that.
But thank you, Jiri. These was amazing images, and I truly see that why you need a professional to do this.
Yeah, I mean the thing why we plan is so that we the chance of getting top-notch images rises dramatically if you have planning. So it's not just an act of coincidence. I mean, lucky accidents happen. Don't get me wrong. Some shots in my portfolio were unplanned, but you can't really prepare when you don't have a plan, right? So you need to have something to build from, and then just be open and try to have your eyes open and be ready to, if there is a time and opportunity to switch the plan a little bit, maybe we can move something to the next day, and then we can spend this day on this wonderful shot that we haven't planned.
Next, let's dive a little bit deeper about the photo shooting process, and the topic will be the contracting phase and how to work with the photographer when you are doing contracts.
Yes, so that should be something that you definitely should have. Not everybody has those, but when you are working with a photographer, it's the best when you get a quote, you agree to the quote, have a contract. Because it protects the photographer, it protects you. Just read it well. It should say that how many images you will get, how much you will pay for it, when the images are going to be delivered. And typically what I have in my contract is something along the lines that if nobody from the hotel is present on the shoot, on the day of the shoot, they cannot return the images back to me. And it's essentially I have it named internally in my head as show up or shut up later. What I'm thinking, what does it mean? Because when I'm actually on the shoot, I have challenges I have some compromises that need to be made. And if nobody from the hotel is there to discuss that with me, I have to take action and do something with it, because I have been contracted to deliver. So when they are with me, and like 99% of times the client was with me, there are no returns of the images. They are happy, they are paid immediately. When someone on rare occasion wasn't, and it's a new client and they weren't with me, they almost always have issues with the images. Why? Because they were not present when we were shooting. They did not have to see the challenges that we had to take. So always be there. It's in my contract. So if somebody from the audience we have here signs my contract, that's a non-negotiable. You're there, or it's show up or shut up later.
It ensures that the communications is there and
exactly. And if the hotel is not ready for some reason, it's a pre-opening or something is not done, then obviously it protects me because the hotel was not in photo ready. So that's what my contract says. It also says how you can do how you can use the images, so you are covered there as well.
Yeah. So the rights of the use of the images is totally covered.
Yeah, and also just a quick heads up to everyone. You don't own the images. The photographer is the artist who owns the images. So beforehand, before you sign the contract, ask them what are the how you can use the images, or tell them how you want to use the images, and it should be stated in the contract so that you are protected.
Yeah. So I have all rights to use the images in any other channels that I'm using in commercial use, etc. But you have the exact ownership of that.
Have it in the writing, because if it was just said over the phone, no, have it in the contract that you want this and you want to use it like this, and have it in the contract. That's the most protection you can have. So definitely don't skip on that. For some clients that I have worked with for a long time now, I don't do contracts, because there's mutual respect. They know how I work, I know how they work, so it's a waste. I should do that, but I'm lazy, honestly. So but for new clients, I almost always do that. Like not almost, every time we do that.
Well, a contract is to secure both parties, not just you.
Yeah.
It's also for the sake for the hotel.
Definitely. So don't skip on that. Otherwise, there may be a problem. So next is the preparation before the shoot. So we discussed we have a quote, we have a contract signed, everything is ready. So now we have to coordinate with the hotel based on the shot list we created, right? So we need to know what we are shooting and when, and then we can distribute that information to the relevant offices, housekeeping for rooms, F&B if we're shooting restaurants, front office, we're shooting lobby, around, or maybe event guys for the meetings. Everybody should know what needs to be done. Everything should be written so that when we are actually shooting, it is ready. Then we need to have the rooms reserved. Obviously, we need to try. I'm sorry. Can we go back a little bit more?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So we need to reserve the rooms. Obviously, that's we have it there, but that should be like a non-negotiable, obviously. Also, for exclusive spaces, meaning like if there is a private sauna or spa that is private, we should have that reserved for us so that nobody gets that and we can work there without interrupting guests. For restaurants, we need to work where the restaurant. There's two options. Either we work with when it's closed, or we have it closed for ourselves. Some photographers demand that they say, hey, I need to shoot it at 7 p.m. and you do you and just do it. Otherwise, I'm not shooting. I'm not like that. I am trying to like find a middle ground between like what the opening is of the hotel, of the restaurant, and when is the best time for us to shoot. And we are trying to find a middle ground. Maybe we don't have to shoot it at 7 p.m. when it's like most busy for the restaurant, but we can shoot it in the morning at 5 a.m. because it's going to be very similar, right? So again, on communication. Also, prepare the backup spaces in case of changes, weather availability. That is mostly what happens when we are shooting exteriors, when we are shooting pools, for example. Maybe when you are looking at the forecast the day before and you see, hey, we are planning the pool shot tomorrow at 8 a.m., but it's supposed to be raining. So let's go outside at 8 a.m. And if it's raining, let's go somewhere else. So maybe have some backup in mind. So maybe we can switch some slots, right? And then based on the amount of departments that have been that have been instructed to help us, the engineering, we need to control the lighting, the curtains, and small design touches. Meaning the lighting for public spaces, we typically need engineering. Because there is no light switch, right? That can, turn the massive $100,000 chandelier, and we need somebody from the engineering to be there to help us with it.
When I listen to you, and I'm getting a lot of more information and understanding how photo shooting works, especially in the hotels. One thing concerned me: how about the whole kind of investments? Because if I need to close my restaurant, I need to pay the salaries for these people who is maintaining the lights, etc., taking care of the curtains, etc. So what are exactly, by the way, the real investment when we are doing photo shoot? It's not only the invoicing of a photo shooter, it's also these kind of side effects.
So I cannot really talk about that because I don't know. I don't see these numbers. As I mentioned, what I do is I'm trying to work, and 95% of times, 99% of times, there weren't any changes. That no restaurants were closed. So we always find a way, either blocking one part of the restaurant for an hour and sitting all the people on the terrace, changing their reservation so they will be sitting outside on one half, and then the other day we shoot the other half. There's always something we can do to work around that. So I cannot really most of the florists I worked with are either external company that bill the client, bill the hotel. I don't see into that. I'm sorry, I cannot give you advice.
Yeah, no worries. It's kind of just total understanding that it has many functions, not just only the photo shooting.
Yeah. There's also different costs associated to.
But this goes back to the optimizing. So why it's really important to optimize, plan, prepare, have the scouting, Every part of those will save the costs.
Yeah, because there's like, compromises to be made that maybe, hey, the restaurant is busy at 7, so can we shoot sometime later or maybe earlier? Sure, we can have that discussion. So what can you do? What can we do? And then we try to find the compromise, and we always did in the past. So yeah.
Then we have the shoot the shot list.
So this is an example of the shot list that I'm sending to new clients. This is actually a shot list for rooms and bathrooms. So this is what we are sending the departments before we actually arrive at the hotel, so they know what should be done. So you can all take a look quickly, but in general, you should clean the windows inside and outside. That's the 100%, like, makes it much better and much easier for us. Curtains and drapes must hang evenly on both sides, because sometimes you wouldn't believe, I mean, you would probably, because you are all from the hotel, but the curtains are typically not connected right, and sometimes they are hanging a little bit, so, or they are unmovable, they're stuck or something. So that cushions or pillows should be placed correctly as per your brand. If your brand has guidelines, then we should definitely work on top of that. And here, this is a non-mandatory. This depends on the client. This is my preference, to not display flowers, fruit, drinks, baskets, bathrobes, suitcases, blah blah blah. Right. So that is mine. All bulbs must be of the same brand, type, and wattage. That is lighting, because if a hotel is been open for a long time, you can immediately spot, and the camera sees it, is that there is different light temperatures, color temperatures from the lights. So that should be checked as well. Yeah. Bedding should be hand ironed, because sometimes some bed sheets are they have texture. They are not just pure white. They have texture, and texture is extremely hard to retouch. So there's two options. If you don't iron the bed sheets for me, then be prepared to have unnaturalistic and more expensive photos, because I'll charge you extra, and it will not look as realistic as if it was hand ironed. Simple as that.
I have exactly the curtain problems. The sun is shining straight to my face, and all the light is coming between the curtains.
Yeah. Then if there are bed skirts, blah blah blah, feel free to read over, or there will be a recording, so just look over that and take base, or take inspiration from the pre-shoot checklist. So this is the scouting portion. You can all see how that looks. So we enter the room that was in the shot list. I, with my app, will plan the best time of day that we should shoot it, and then we return to that space at the exact time I planned, and we shoot it. As simple as that.
This is. I have some questions related to the scouting. So when you arrived at the kind of the location, so you go there before the actual shooting, and
that's on the scout. That is on the scout day. That's the extra day that we take before.
That's the extra day. Okay.
That's the scouting. Yes.
How about the different kind of types of the images? So usually, when you go scouting, the shot list and the plan is made for still images, or do you also do 360s or 3Ds matter points, and how it will?
Yeah. So it changes based on the requirements from the hotel, because if we are doing 360s, it has to be planned, so that it is prepared. Because 360, remember, for still photography, I see just what is in front of the camera. Just what is in front. But 360, we have to prepare everything. Everything has to be staged. Everything has to be cleaned. Everything has to be ironed. So that's a whole different ball game, and it needs to be like communicated properly before and planned for. Yeah.
Sessions, the exact photographic sessions.
So what we do, we arrive based on the shot list at the time of day it was planned. And then we, try to balance the speed and creativity. That's why the planning is there for speed, but then we should try to give it some more room for the creativity, meaning we will switch some, from the shot list, maybe. Communication with the hotel, again, we discussed that. And then let's actually discuss what we do and how we plan certain things. So we reserve the best times of the day and by best times, what I mean is early morning and late afternoon or late evening. Those are you probably heard the term that's called a golden hour. So most of these times we are planning an exterior shot, or mostly exteriors, and sometimes like very important like interior shots where view is prominent, where view is important. And then that leaves us with the rest of the day, which is typically the midday. That's the ugly light, right? When it's hot outside, when the sun is really high. But it gives us for example, if we are shooting a resort, or where there's a sea visible, it gives us a great opportunity to shoot those aqua, Caribbean style seas. And so we will essentially, or meetings or something, so we will fill out the less important times of day in terms of lighting. We will fill out with shots that are not as important in terms of the view, for example. And for lifestyle photography, we try to plan the most. Time for again, light, sunset or sunrise, because for people, again, more mood, more atmosphere. So we have done the photo shoot. Hopefully everything went well. That means it's time for post-production, and what it includes. Simple color correction, exposure balances, removing distractions, removing cars, removing the sockets, light switches, sprinklers, alarms, cameras, you name it. So we just try to make it as simple as possible, while still preserving what is actually there. And one thing is that you should all think about is not to think about the post-production as we'll fix it in post. Post-production is there for the sole reason of perfecting what we already have. We should have the most amount of information, the best image, before even going to post-production. And in post-production, we are just putting everything together and making sure that everything clicks. It's not like it shouldn't be. And in my experience, this never worked out. I hope I will fix it in post.
One question. Let's take an example that I'm a consumer and I'm taking my family to trip to Barcelona for 2 weeks, and I will start checking out suitable hotels in some suitable area, and then I will go see some quality images in the websites, and I start thinking, can I trust these? Is this still the same room, or it's a different room, or what I'm gonna expect when I go to the hotel?
That's $1 million question. Depends how much has been changed, right? So if the sales team and marketing team did select, because if they want me to select a junior king, for example, and I shoot the best junior king, but they have some junior king that is not looking into the sea and it's looking into the building, for example, then that's not the photographer is not to blame, but the hotel should think about that, and we should have added it into the shortlist and shoot it. So that's what we did in London, for example, because a lot of the hotels there, they don't have views. So we have to either obscure it, hide it with shears or curtains, not curtains, but shears, so that it's so that it's hidden. So again, that's the $1 million question. Typically, we use for the hotel, for the photos, what is actually there, and we are moving it slightly. We are maybe changing different angles, trying to hand iron everything so that it looks good and there are no wrinkles, but that's it.
If the shoot has happened like evening and that's the atmosphere of the picture in the site, and I go to visit or I log into the hotel at the morning, and definitely the room will be look differently at the morning than the shot. The evening.
You cannot expect, you cannot expect if we shot an exterior shot of the pool early in the morning and you are there at midday, obviously it's going to look way different and way uglier when you are there in person. Yeah.
Next question. How about, I believe that all hotels are not the same. So I believe that it's quite easy to do a professional photo shoot in high quality, very new, just renewed hotel.
Yes, I prefer those as well.
How about like a small hotel in dark times in London? So how you can, is it that still photo shootable, or do you decline?
Here's the thing: when somebody sees my posts on LinkedIn, I typically like to boast more about the new sexy stuff, right? Because it's easy to shoot, it looks great, everybody's interested in it. That's 10% of what I do. Is actually these PR, very important shoots. Where we spend 7 or more days. That's 10%. 90% are hotels. I don't want to say that are worn out, but they have seen some stuff already, and we need to work with it. We retouch tables that have been scratched. We retouch paint that's been maybe falling. I don't want to say it's been decrepit, that it's been like falling apart, but we polish stuff that's still within the realm of post-production. Yes.
Thank you, Jiri.
No problem.
Photos as a tool of profit.
Yeah, so typically where the hotels use the photography is on their website, right? That's typically where most of my photography lives on. Also, then on the OTAs, the Booking, the Expedias, there you should definitely take care and look at the what is the not requirement, but suggestion from the OTAs themselves, how to maximize the the potential of the images. Then on social media, although I'm not an influencer, obviously some of my work appears in the social media. I'm not an influencer. My job is to shoot images that will live for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So and I'm knocking on wood, so far that's been like that, unless the hotel transform the spaces.
But by the way, what is kind of typical lifespan of images?
Again, it's until they renovate, until they change something that the old photographs cannot be used, right? So we try not to maximize, we try not to emphasize the technology, meaning the TVs, because those date in every 3 years, every 2 years, they're old. So we try not to shoot those as much, so they can stay alive. The images can essentially stay alive as long as possible. But at minimum, it would be like 5 years, 5, 10, 15. So I have some hotels that I shot when I started in Prague that are still using my images because they haven't changed a thing.
And still looking good.
Yeah, and they're still looking good. Yeah, I'm still quite proud of them. Yeah, and then for print, right? And related to that is PR. So again, for print, it should be very well thought of what should be put into print. Typically, when we are shooting, so I am one of the preferred photographers within Marriott to do PR intensive, PR important photos, because like my images tend to get selected for Condé Nast, and these like Vanity Fair and these big
Awesome.
Magazines. So that means that if we are shooting for PR, I'm typically working with somebody from either from Marriott or from a PR company to first determine what images are PR worthy and how we can do the extra step to make sure that it works and it's good. Yeah. So the return of investment obviously should be that you will have increase of the revenue, more important, or you will have more guests coming in, direct bookings, stronger PR coverage with media quality visuals, simple, and photography as a brand asset. It should it should follow. I've tackled it a little bit. I didn't really go in depth because we could talk about brand identity for another 2 hours. If you have a brand identity, we should talk about that before we actually start shooting, to make sure that the photography is on point and is following your brand guidelines.
Exactly, and this gives us a good leap to the next topic, which will be the Seidat and what we are doing and what kind of problems we are serving and fixing as a Seidat company. Thank you, Jiri. I hope that the audience will gain some new information and understanding how important and what's the profit to do professional photo shooting and choose a right photographer based on your needs.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Seidat, So Seidat is a sales hotel tool made for mostly for kind of companies that are doing P2P sales, so active sales. And the problems that we are currently solving, as I say, that is the sales costs are rising. So the demand of the greater efficiency is there. So people needs to do more with less. And sales processes are currently a little bit outdated. So traditional tools cannot support anymore today's digital buyer journeys, even that the hospitality sales is a little bit still old-fashioned and traditional in the B2B form of sales, but the change is still there. So the buyers are looking for even more and more digital journeys. And automation is going to be part of sales at the future, and the expectations of the customers, the expectation of the buyers are rapidly increasing. They are expecting more visual, more easy to understand and personalized experience. And definitely the AI will be at the future part of the sales. Here's one example. Let's see, we have an internet connection challenges in the new office. Let's see that can it open. Yeah, now it works. So these 360s and different kind of high quality images could be used very well in Seidat. These can be part of your sales presentations and your sales fact sheets, brochures. There can be also added videos and any kind of different materials and format could be used in your future sales presentations. And it's very easy to build very tailored based hotel and MICE presentations with Seidat. So it's the only kind of this is an add-on profit for your quality images. Then you could use these in your direct sales process and P2P sales processes. Let's see. I have some internet connection challenges, so a couple of seconds. I'm gonna fix this. All right, and to say that kind of the future of the sales will be at shared rooms for your client. These are personalized digital sales rooms, which could consist all the materials, all the necessary materials that the customers are looking for in different phases of the buying journey. So purchasing is made very easy because the materials are all in the same place, in the same digital sales room. They can be totally customized based on the customer needs. You can put there the right 360s, the right images, the capacity chart, floor plans, all kind of amenities like golf courses, etc. The packages could be here tailored in one sales room. So it's a little bit different approach than a traditional PowerPoint or a PDF files or PDF fact sheets that currently are kind of the state of the industry or the main material that is used. And also the AI will be part of the future of the sales, also in the hospitality. So one way to AI is going to affect in the sales is also that when the Jiri will do the best possible high quality photo shoot, you can tailor made a little bit based on the customer need, tailor these high quality images based on the customer need and put their company 20 years anniversary parties there or weddings or whatever. But let's see that where and how this kind of development will be going on the future. But this is something which is already here, and it could be done in any sales process to add virtual staging and with in-paint AI. And one of the main values or the benefits also is with the Seidat is that all of your current sales content, all your images, great materials that you have gathered, fact sheets, PDF, videos, everything are really in the one place, and they can be managed and controlled. Everything can be aligned with the brand. It could be the right user rights for a different kind of levels of users. every hotel, if you have a hotel chain, like let's have an example for 10 hotels, every hotel will have their own workspace, their own specific materials in their own Seidat workspace, but all of these materials could be shared between workspaces, and all the analytics and the trackings, etc., what we are getting out from the sales and the use of the materials will be also combined from all of the 8 hotels and also the individual hotels. So this gives really a tool for the management to lead the sales, to lead the material use and see where the conversion is coming, and of course optimize and improve your current materials. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Do you have any questions? Let's see that. Do we have any questions in the chat for me or Jan? Currently, it looks empty. Sorry, Jiri. No questions. If no questions,
We can wait.
then I will.
We can wait
Then
a little bit.
and Jiri, we will say everybody hi and thank you that you attended. And by the way, we are going to send this material and recording of the webinar for everyone who participated. So you can also use this for the further use. And there is also links to reach out for Jiri if you're looking for a photo shooting, and also to have a demo with our salespeople if you are interested about our Seidat hotel sales tool. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.